What's up, everybody? Josh or Miho here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new album from the band Broken Hope, entitled Omen of Disease. This is released on Century Media Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Chicago, Illinois, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very gore-fueled, old-school, riveting style of death metal. Pretty much within the vein of bands like Cannibal Corpse, Suffocation, Incantation, and even Autopsy. This band has had one very, very interesting ride over the last 20 plus years or so. This band is pretty much influential to a lot of underground brutal death metal bands and some death metal bands of the later day. Preferably albums like their first two releases, Swamped in Gore and The Bowels of Repugnance. Some very, very disgusting, brutal, and punishing death metal. I mean, great vocal work, great musicianship, over-the-top lyrics. This is what you would expect of an old-school, gory kind of death metal record. There's that old adage that death metal in cases can be the musical equivalent of a horror film. And with those first couple of Broken Hope releases, you definitely got that idea and mindset. Then later on in the 90s, they released 3 more albums, each album staying within the death metal realms, but things began to get a little bit more different on a musical kind of direction. Even to the last album that they released in 1999 called Grotesque Blessings. It had pretty much one of my favorite Broken Hope songs ever on there, I Am God. I think that's that one track. That's a great song. Very much a different kind of record, but still Broken Hope wanting to evolve as musicians. Then after that album, there seemed to be a little bit of a stalemate. Broken Hope had separated, and of course there have been trials and tribulations with this band, most notably the death of the original singer, a really great vocalist in his own right. Then last year they decided to reform with a little bit of a revamped lineup and the inclusion of Damien of Gorgasm on the vocals. Now, we all know Gorgasm is an awesome band, but it only made me wonder what type of idea and thought process he would bring to the table. And I witnessed that firsthand last year when I saw them live with Jungle Rot and Obituary. Oh my goodness, these guys put on a great set. These guys seemed reinvigorated, revitalized, refreshed, playing a bunch of the old stuff, giving ideas as to what some of the newer material might be, and it was an incredible show, an incredible set. I think that was pretty much the only band that I bought merch from. I bought a Bowels of Repugnance shirt, and that really amped up my excitement for what was going to happen. Then they got signed to Century Media Records, announced that they were going to make a new album, and here we are with the 6th full-length album entitled Omen of Disease. This is their first album in 14 years. It's 13 tracks, and it clocks in at around 36 minutes in length. And after listening to this album, you're going to feel right at home with this album. From the way the intro starts off to the way the actual music starts, it kind of feels as if you're getting a little bit of the old Broken Hope with a little bit of what the new Broken Hope is. I mean, I hear a lot of the first 2 albums, and definitely a lot of Repulsive Conception with this album. But all in all, this is probably a really awesome comeback story to witness and to hear. And I'm very happy that this album has been released. This is probably one of the most entertaining death metal releases I've heard in quite a long time, and Broken Hope have returned to deliver the goods with this one. Music-wise, it definitely feels like an old-school 90s death metal record, with just the way the guitar is being played, just the way the riffs are, the way everything is calculated and delivered. I mean, you hear that on the real opening track of this album, Womb of Horrors. You get some sensational guitar work going on. The riffs are just awesome, very well detailed, nothing flashy or over the top. It is done in a very tasteful and awesome manner to even tracks like The Flesh Mechanic and The Docking Dead. You get some really creative riff work going on. Even the solos sound great. I'm really digging the way the solos are being done here. They bring back that old school death metal kind of vibe, and I'm loving the hell out of that. I think it's great. Um, Bass wise, the bass is incredible. I love this bass guitar tone. I love the way that it's played, the way that it's picked. It just sounds right, and it is delivered in all ends. Going back to The Docking Dead and Give Me the Bottom Half, you hear some really awesome bass tones going on with those particular tracks, and just the way the bass is throughout this entire record, it just sounds amazing. It is awesome. It's one of my favorite things about death metal is listening to a bass guitar, and if you hear a really good bass guitar tone, you'll definitely hear something great with this new Broken Hope record. I think it's awesome. Drum wise, going back to that old school death metal vibe, the drums really showcase that very, very well here. I'm really enjoying this drum style and drum performance, from the way the snare is to the way the double bass is, the way the fills are. It has its awesome moments. A lot of these songs are basically short, most songs ranging from about 2 to 2.5 to 3 minutes in length, but every drum performance that's on this album is done so in a very mid-paced and well thought out manner. I enjoy this drummer, I enjoy his style, and I enjoy his pace. He definitely brings a delectable kind of pace to this album. And when it comes to the vocals, Damien's vocals are amazing. He definitely does justice to the original singer Joe. His guttural voice is incredibly evil and twisted sounding. Of course, you know how his vocals are with Gorgasm. With Broken Hope, he decides to envelop his own kind of aura and voice and definitely delivers the goods. Very guttural, very ugly sounding, and very over the top. I'm enjoying that about his vocal style. And even going to the track Rendered into Lard with Trevor Strnad of the Black Dahlia Murder doing a little bit of high screaming on the album. It adds a little bit of variety to the overall vocal style of the album. It's something you'll feel very comfortable getting into once you listen to it. And of course, as in with any kind of Broken Hope album, you're going to get some crazy over-the-top lyrics. I mean, The Flesh Mechanic, Give Me the Bottom Half, and pretty much one of my favorite tracks on this record, Predacious Poltergeist. Some crazy over-the-top lyrics. Pretty much something you can have a little bit of a smirk of, but also enough to the point where you're able to take it seriously and enjoy the music. You get some great, great old school death metal vibes with these lyrics and these tracks. So overall, this is a comeback that I am very happy to say is a success. Broken Hope are back, and hopefully they will continue to make underground brutal death metal or underground death metal alive. And this is a release that is definitely going to keep that going. If I'm not mistaken, they are currently on tour with Deicide, Disgorge, and Necronomicon. If they are coming near you, definitely check them out. They ruled live when I saw them, and hopefully on the last date of the tour, I will be able to check them out. So definitely check out Broken Hope and support them however you're able to. If I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Wombs of Horrors, The Flesh Mechanic, Rendered into Lard, The Docking Dead, Give Me the Bottom Half, and Predacious Poltergeist. This is available in many formats. It's available physically, digitally, available on vinyl with alternate artwork, CD jewel case, and this special Digipack edition. I know how some people are about Digipacks, but I would definitely urge you, if you are a Broken Hope fan, to get the Digipack, because not only does it come with some live bonus tracks, but it also comes with a DVD documentary highlighting the band's entire history from its formation to where it's currently at now. It is definitely an eye-opening documentary and probably one of the best watches I've ever seen. Just a lot of stories to be told, a lot of ideas and thoughts to be shared. I think it's great stuff, and not to mention I think this packaging is really awesome. Loving the artwork too. Great album cover. So I'm going to show you the album again. This is Omen of Disease by Broken Hope. This is released on Century Media Records. Go check this out if you're into old school death metal. And I'm going to give this a very strong 9 out of 10. Really awesome release. I had a fun time listening to this, and I definitely will be listening to this again and again for the foreseeable rest of this year. So check out Broken Hope. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for coming to my channel. And until the next time, Army Hope out.